Hi, this is a quick little video to catch you up on some things that I've learned and added to my process for lightweight concrete sculpture since I made the film a year and a half ago. One of the products is a spray adhesive. Now, I told you there was no spray adhesive you could use that wouldn't eat through foam, and this is actually one that works. It's only at Harbor Freight. It actually says on the container, recommended for foam, foils, plastics, so you have special permission to use it. However, I've also found if you spray it too close, too far away, it either eats it up or it doesn't stick. Shake it really, really well. Put a little bit on. You let it sit for 2 minutes about. In a perfect world, I glue up all my pieces the day before I carve, and the landscape block works just great if you do it that way. But if you want to stick some stuff together and carve right away, this is really great for that. So let's pretend it's been 2 minutes. You put it together, you get an instant seal, and it actually holds really, really well. Another thing I wanted to talk about is actually part of the process. So I found a product that you can now buy at Home Depot or Lowe's, and you couldn't before. And it's a special tape that's sticky on one side. It is actually made to use in this, not this process, but it comes alkali resistant. So that is the key thing. Any kind of mesh that you use in this process has to be alkali resistant, and it will actually say it on the label. There's a photograph in the PDF that I sent along with this tape. Go to your Home Depot, go to your Lowe's, it's in the kind of cement section. There'll be about 10 different rolls that all look the same. They're by Fiber Tape. You need to find the one that actually says on the package, alkali resistant. This is a great product because now we can actually attach this without having to attach it with the slurry or the cement as we go. But in order to have that work effectively, you're going to have to do one more extra step. So this is my piece right here. I finished carving it with my knife, and I just finished the rounding off part with my wire brush. Now, to get the surface to a really good place so that the tape will stick to it, we're going to sand it. So you can use a sand block, or you can use just a plain old piece of sandpaper. And you're going to just polish the surface like crazy. You'll notice that as I sand, my surface is getting really nice and smooth. It'll also work with just regular sandpaper. This is going to make a very fine dust, which is really annoying to clean up, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so once it's nice and shiny, nice and polished, I need to get all the dust off and all the little flakes. You can see there's just flakes all over the place. And I'm about to get sticky tape out, and if these are flying around getting stuck on the tape, I'm going to get a really lumpy surface. So I have the treat of having an air compressor, which I use to get all the dust off my piece. I want it completely dust free. So I get the best sticking with my tape. I've had a few of you write me about cleanup. Well, I'll be honest, a lot of people take my class 3 or 4 times just because they don't want to have to clean up their own yard. As I'm sure you found out, it's quite a mess. After you've swept, then you could try using a shop vac. With closing, we found these little lint brushes work really well. Just to get, especially after the sanding part, because then you've got just little teeny tiny flakes of it. And then you just peel off the little sheet and it's brand new. So this is a great product to use. Now I'm going to show you what we do with the tape. Now that my work surface is really clean and I've blown off all the extra dust, and you know, if you don't have an air compressor, or you might know somebody who does, it's worth taking the time to try to get it all off. Maybe a reverse vacuum would work. I'll let you try. At least brush it off as best you can, get as much off as possible so you have a really smooth, clean surface. Now, this is the fun part. You're going to take your tape. The hardest thing you're going to do is find the beginning of it. Okay, there we go. You're going to cut off 8-inch, about 8-inch rectangles, and you're going to stick it on your piece. using the back of your scissors, you're going to push it on. It'll stick without having to use the slurry. What's really great about this, as you'll see in a minute, you'll notice I'm using the same overlapping method that I used when I was putting it on with the slurry. So I'm going to proceed to cover this entire thing using this method. When I'm done, he's just going to be this crisscross gray thing. Try not to put more than maybe 2 or 3 layers at a time. If it's too thick, the slurry's not going to go through. When it's completely covered, then you'll mix up your slurry and do your cementing all at one time. You'll get a really nice smooth coat, which is what we're going for after all. This is a wonderful product. Like I said, you can buy it at Home Depot or Lowe's in 2-inch wide rolls. You can buy 4-inch wide rolls from SherryWarnerHunter.com, which the link is in the class notes. I always do my first coat in this, but it's a little thinner than the white mesh that we cut up. So I do my first coat in this, but then my second coat I do using the method in the video where I'm cutting it into strips and putting it on, doing a slurry, putting it on, doing a slurry. So that's how I do my second coat. So those are just a couple of quick little heads up for you to try. I'll get this filmed properly and put into the actual class. But for now, those of you that have purchased my video, I wanted you to have this update. Also, I love the pictures you've been sending. People from all over the world are sending extraordinary pictures of your finished products. And that's what all this is about, is that you go out and create. So I wanted to thank you again, and please email me if you have any questions. See ya.